Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are for a second and also last series of the day in Captain's Draft 4.0 SEA Qualifiers, because Nesky versus TNC that was supposed to start after this one has been rescheduled to tomorrow. So for now it's WG.Unity, who we've seen in a very scrappy, very fun series make it through with a victory here. Now they have to face up against Happy Feet. My name is DragonDrop, I'm joined by Gareth. How are you doing?
Hey, dude. Yeah, all good. WG, they had a fight, right? That was a big old fight with Execration. Those games were scrappy, messy, just butting of heads between two absolute beastly teams. Happy Feet here, going into this series cold. Sure, you've warmed up in pub games, or you've been into hero demo mode and practiced your invoker combos and stuff like that, but that's your mechanical skill. You're not there mentally, right? That's where WG are right now. They're mentally coming out of this, 2-1 win in their previous series.
Yep.
Gotta be feeling pretty hot, but in Captain's Draft, you can't just use the same strats you've used in your previous games. Different hero pools, different heroes to pick and ban from. And, you look at this pool, immediately I see heroes like Meepo, like Tinker, Queen of Pain, Undying is there, is a pretty cool one as well.
Yep.
Is there anything that jumps out for you?
I did see the Nature's Prophet, but it's promptly banned out. I always see the Jakiro every single time it's available, because Jakiro is awesome. So wouldn't be too surprised to see that hero just come up, because I feel like it's still super stable. Hasn't really been changed all that much. And just having this kind of early game brawl, depending on how many levels you give him, and that counter push and push in general is always going to be useful, even in Captain's Draft. So that's what I expect. Monkey King also still in the pool, so might see some of the classics here, but then again, there's plenty of other things sprinkled in that could actually make a difference. Again, the Storm Spirit as well. Then you always look at, alright, what is the actual lockdown? And in this game, again, nothing too crazy, I don't think. Especially in the support side.
Yeah, especially in the support side. You look at that int hero pool, and you've got core hero, core, Enchantress, kind of a core support or a core is rarely played in that hard five, and then Jakiro is probably the only hero there that is, a guaranteed support pretty much. Out on the other side, you look at this entire pool, and it's pretty much all carry heroes. It's ridiculous, right? So some of these heroes are going to have to shift out of their comfort zones into roles that maybe we don't normally see them, like the Morphling. When was the last time we saw that, the offlane Morphling? It's been a while.
Yeah. It still can be extremely strong, though, if you focus on the strength. And he's also been reworked a little bit, but I think only with the quality of life, where you have different buttons for nuke and your stun. So, yeah. Regardless, Jakiro, I expected the hero, especially as we said, with the supports being rather thin, and Warriors Gaming opting to go for the Queen of Pain first.
10 seconds remaining.
So Happy Feet, if they want, they can even pick up the Riki now, try and put on some pressure early and have that smoke screen available.
Oh wait, Morph got a bunch of changes, hey?
Yeah, I think he did, yeah. He actually out of Captain's mode as well, so...
Attribute shift rate rescaled from 24816 to 141025, but it no longer costs mana, and that's the new ability name for Morph. So Morph now costs no mana. It's now Adaptive Strike is now 2 abilities, which is what you were talking about: the damage from Agi and then the stun from Strength. One is cast, the other goes into cooldown for 3 seconds. So you get to use one at a time, basically.
Yeah.
Removed Morphling's Scepter and replaced Replicate with a new ultimate Morph. Changes your hero to match the target enemy. Copies the target's visual model, basic abilities, base movement speed, attack range, and attributes. Applies a soft dispel on transformation. If you die during this, Morphling dies. You can exit the Morph form anytime. Lasts 30 seconds.
Yep.
You become another hero.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that change, but it just fell out of my mind. But yeah, that explains why the hero's out of Captain's mode. But it obviously is still available in Captain's Draft, so I wonder if either of these teams actually have that in their mind right now as a possibility, because...
is that one of the things you're going to remember? Is like, oh yeah, Morphling got changed this way. Did you test it over the past, 2 nights or something? Because his level 20 talent... level 25 talent, +2 multi-shot Adaptive Strike. And level 20, Morph targets allies, so you can become one of your allies.
Yeah, you could do some crazy things with that, I'm sure. Like, it also all depends on the lineup that the enemy has, obviously. So, like, you can turn into, like, a Pugna or something. You have another blast of your own or something, or you can turn into their carry, essentially, and go ham. You Queen of Pain, like in this game. If you're a happy feet, you pick up Morphling, turn into Queen of Pain, all of a sudden you have blinks, you have nukes.
10 seconds remaining.
But it's also one of these things where it's,
5
alright,
seconds
there's so much happening already in the patch. Maybe let's not try that out in a competitive setting like this. Let's just take some time and try it out in scrims and just in demo mode and whatnot.
Very often, even on a new patch, the first few series or the first few games in Captain's mode are very similar to the old patch. You know, you stick with what you know works, and you see if you can adapt it, or just kind of stay solid, and then try stuff out in scrims or pubs, and then kind of build your knowledge of the patch up over time. But in Captain's Draft, like, anything goes. All of that is out the window. Find some gimmicky hero that you can abuse. If it's in the pool, you go for it.
Yeah.
Death Prophet is kind of sticking to, you know, what we know and love of the previous patch anyway.
Yeah.
But this Queen of Pain now, perhaps off lane, safe lane, or even support. You know, we used to see support Queen of Pain from, if you remember, Godot, and a couple of Southeast Asian teams.
I want to say I've seen it in CS as well, like a couple of months ago, from like 1 or 2 players. Can't quite remember them, but it was kind of ridiculous, where you'd end up getting like 3 or 4 null talismans and just run around clicking people and just maxing out the shadow, the poison dagger or whatever it's called, shadow strike. So definitely a possibility here, but at the same time with the Riki already on the field, another indication that he might want to go for this role instead. At the same time, like depending on the kind of lanes that you pick up, if you have very self-sufficient solo laners, you can go for this idea, this kind of game plan where you don't actually start off with a hard 5 and then you have 2 heroes running around creating a lot of chaos. But Happy Feet, setting up decently well now. Dragon Knight very hard to gank at the best of times. And there's also Pudge, we haven't really talked about that hero. You can hook runes now.
You can hook, yeah, you can hook runes.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about, Ice Frog.
Yeah.
But cool, I guess.
One of these things, you know?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, that would be pretty cool if we just put that in the game. Why not?
Yep.
I mean, hooking runes away from your enemies, stealing away, I don't know, a DD rune or something.
And you want to hook a rune, it turns out it's Monkey King.
Whoopsie. Then you're screwed. Gyro. Let's Control F gyro.
10 seconds remaining.
Removed homing missile cast points.
5 seconds.
It will find a new target if its primary target dies. Prioritizes heroes. Cool. So it's a bunch of buffs to homing missile. Whoa!
Oh, it's a draw strat. Look at this.
Triple spooky ladies.
This could very well be 4% Queen of Pain now again. But
then a 5-roll Riki.
Yeah, I guess Riki just trying to babysit a little bit against the draw ranger, because that's a hero that can be under a lot of pressure. Especially when the Pudge just kind of runs around in that lane. Right now, Happy Feeds. Also gotta start thinking about lanes, right? Because for WG it's more or less straightforward, apart from this Queen of Pain Sparkle. Naga Siren as well now? Oh yeah, I think it's support Naga and Riki.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. It must be Quap off lane, right?
Yeah, it would make the most sense. But for Happy Feet now, how are they running things? Like, I guess Enchantress off lane, DK mid, Gyrocopter's safe. Tools running about.
Sure. I'm just looking at this Riki talent tree now. Cloak and Dagger does not reveal at level 25.
What? What?
You can still be revealed by True Sight, but any action you make, any like attack you do or spell you cast or whatever, it doesn't reveal.
Nice.
That's insane.
Honestly, I skipped
So
over
why-
most of the talent trees because there's just so much
There's
to
so
read.
many.
Yeah.
That's why I'm looking at them now, because I've not really delved into the into the depths of the talent tree
5
changes.
seconds remaining.
Naga doesn't have anything interesting. There's Enchantress. Where is Enchantress? Enchant now removes positive buffs on enemy heroes. Cool. Level 15, 50 damage. 20 enchant affects ancients. 25 impetus damage. Interesting.
I could say that. We'll see how this game works out. Again, a very captain's draft kind of draft, as you would expect in a game mode like this.
But it's a drow draft with a Ricky and a Naga.
Yeah, that's the most interesting part about this. I mean,
Thinking.
like, you don't need all of your heroes to be ranged heroes for draw strat to work out. It's enough if you have
they're
at least
doing.
one core.
So Pharaoh is playing Quap. It's Quap mid, DP
Wow.
off lane.
Okay. What? I did not expect this one. Not gonna lie. Are they gonna aggro this somehow? Surely Drow needs help in safe lane. You're up against an Enchantress. Not a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, no one picked Morphling. I'm kind of sad.
Also haven't seen any of the new heroes. I believe the Willow was in one of the drafts, or one of the pools,
Banned,
but it's
yeah.
banned out immediately. Okay.
What's happening? Why are 5 heroes from the Dire smoked mid and why are lol, yeah, see, even the players think it's funny. That was hilarious, dude. Like, what?
Especially here in the river, like, why?
To battle.
Why are they in the river?
That's amazing. I love that we get some old chat reaction as well. Like,
Yeah.
I felt kind of lonely thinking that was funny that they're just both big smoke into big smoke.
Looks like we also have a situation where both teams find the bounty runes on their side at this point, but as
Oh,
stay dead,
Velo
Velo, he's actually dead. Holy hell. Gosh, getting that first blood, so now 2 bounty runes there. Meanwhile, bit of a tussle on the other side as well, and Kuroko still securing this one, but might give us a slide for it. Takes a lot of right-click harassment. He went for the Breathe Fire first, so no some Dragon Blood to try and keep him safe. Jules for the TP in, they're gonna get the trade onto X-Nova. So this game, this series starts as the last one, and essentially with kills all over the place.
Of course. But Happy Feet get the 2-for-1 special. DK is also laned up against the Queen of Pain. They've got this Jesse Vash Jakiro ready to courier snipe as well when Pharaoh brings out, a salve or the rest of his null. Top lane, oh god, the TP out! Enchantress survives top. So it's just going to be bot lane that's the DP against Gyro, which probably... I want to say like DP favored, but
Yeah.
they'll trade farm for the first few levels unless Jesse Vash rotates.
Oh, yeah.
Now the courier comes out from the dire mid.
1v1, DP wins that 100% just because of the damage advantage that you have and the extra range. Like Gyrocopter is really have a good animation, which is like an instant time for the projectile to hit, but Velo, oh, the rocket's actually coming through, early point into that. He's gonna fall again. Great skill choices here, Yaj. With the extra delay here, got it off early
Homing
enough.
missile buffs on homing missile buffs
Yeah.
on buffs. Increased move speed from 340 to 500 on homing missile.
That-
Paying off there.
At the same time, there is an extra delay, so it's from 2 to 3 seconds before it actually starts going. So if you TP right away when the homing missile starts, you'll always be able to make it out. But I don't think Velo actually expected that to come.
No, they trade sentry wards mid, but this means that Ricky can continually sit invis behind the DK, and the Dire also know about this observer ward up on the high ground. They spotted it with the sentry ward,
Yep.
so they'll know with the next sentry to be able to deward that, which is all pretty nice for them in this mid lane, as co-op against DK has become much more of a farm trade heavy matchup. It's no longer like, co-op kills the DK at some point. He out-sustains so nicely with Dragon Blood, and with the Breathe Fire now removes based on total damage and not just base damage now, but they removed like 10% off it. I'm not sure how the maths works out on it, but We'll see how the matchup works out with these new shiny things.
Probably worse in the early game, I want to say, because you don't have too much extra damage really. As opposed to base damage, but in later parts of the game when you start having these damage items come out, probably more effective. But again, yeah, I haven't done math. I'm never gonna do it either. Rely on other people to do it for me. But yeah, down bottom, Velos. Oh god, I'm gonna go on him again. Jules does have the hook available if he can land it, but he can't. Rocket will still fly, but on the tower he'll be safe and sound.
Can the Riki kill the DK? This is the question. This is the only question that matters right now. Is can they kill the DK mid with Riki Quap?
No. Not until level 6.
The answer is still no.
Yeah. Maybe if you have your Scream of Pain.
Oh, they get the D ward?
Yeah. Taking Dragon Knight away for the time being. Give it to the Quap. Alright. This lane, as you would expect, DK not having the best time, especially with the Riki hanging around, soaking some experience. I was level 3, so you have the entire toolkit available. You can try go somewhere else, or can you even gank somewhere else? Because bottom lane it's a bit of a tri lane, it's very hard to go into, and top lane it's an enchantress.
Yeah, that's pretty much why the Riki's life for the first 4 minutes of the game have literally been sit on the DK and make his life absolutely miserable. Which is why he was only on 11 CS when Quap has like 23 or so. But I'm not sure where Aframush goes now. He's scouting out the Jakiro and the Pudge on their way around, so he's giving good information across to his DP, so Velo shouldn't get caught down here. Gets back towards the tier 1 and should be pretty safe from now on. But they could TP someone in and maybe play aggressively.
Yeah. Luxman comes through, Jules to one side, Jesse Vash to the other. And they also have the net coming through from Nexnova, so that'll set up for a little bit of extra damage to bring him down.
Really
Jesse
nice.
Vash is still a bit of a compromising position together with the courier, but now Vash at least chase the DP away to provide some room for the Jakiro.
That was perfect play from WG, bringing that Naga in exactly when they needed her to. Gets the ensnare on the Pudge, they get a kill, and they manage to alleviate some of the pressure.
If Quap was there immediately, maybe we can even make something happen here against the DK, but Kuroko only sees Nova now. Bit of minus armor, the net's still available after Moosh for the follow-up. They can perhaps get a kill here, especially if it... Oh, that is well played indeed. Jules with rotation.
Yeah, they knew exactly what was going on. Jules just like walks over, you know, slowly wobbling along, stands on the cliff, and he was ready to just reposition and hook the DK back across from the aggression. So, Happy Feet knew exactly what was happening there. DK, you know, kind of stemming the flow percentage-wise. He's not doing too poorly up against the Quap, going 2 for 3. The Drow Ranger still farming reasonably well top lane, but Enchantress is this unkillable force, right? She's not going to get pressured too heavily, especially if X-Nova, you know, rotates further from that top lane. I don't know if they can even push her back from this tower push. She's got a catapult and a mud golem. She's just spamming out these little boulders on the poor little Drow Ranger.
You'll get 2 extra here in a couple of seconds if Rappi lets that one expire. Also has the extra 1 from the other golem.
And she can afford phase boots too.
Yeah.
This is a very scary top lane to be in. Like, Drow has triple Wraith Bangs. Knows how quickly this can turn on its head.
Drow gets close to the golems right now.
Oh, mid lane.
That is triple boulder, mid lane at the same time. Aframush and Pharaoh, they're trying to dive here, but Duking driving through the towers, not enough. But Jessivesh just walks back into them. Aframush did not actually get caught by the brief fire, I believe, but he still dies. To the right clicks, and the damage over time. Pharaoh still walking away. He sees the courier flying by. Rappy and Jules dying somewhere else entirely. Like, how can what?
And then Jakiro dies mid.
What? Where? What? How?
And now Pharaoh's dying. Oh my god!
What is happening?
So they managed to kill the Enchantress top. I didn't see it, but it must have been Ensnare with body blocks from Mirror Image, bit of Riptide, bit of damage from the Drow. They kill the Enchantress. They did that job, great. But the dive in mid, I was watching it the entire time. The Riki and the Drow Range, the Riki and the Queen of Pain, sorry, they had DD on the Quap, and they saw the DK and thought it was a relatively simple kill. They jump forward, they scream, but actually Ben-Hur stands his ground in this little hidey hole in the trees. behind this tier 1 mid.
Yep.
And
Walking
he
around
pops his
here.
stick and he's like, cool, you're not going to find me anymore. Just jukes them around in the trees.
Yep. Oh, wow. Bring down the bottom lane as well. Pharaoh popping that ultimate. Hold on, not enough to keep them away. So, again, another one of these games where kills are happening all over the map. Xnova. Bit of a slowdown there on the punch. Still has a hook. That's extra burst for Xnova. Gabami wants to try and trade this, but I'm not sure if he actually can. Jules, pretty damn fast on his feet. Another courier flies over. And Rappy just keeps chipping away at the Drow at the same time. Jules, finds the hook!
Oh no.
Oh no, tried to block with the illusions. Couldn't quite get there.
I'm not sure that's the play by the Drow Ranger. That was an interesting line to take when, you know, you can go back to your tier 1 here, but apparently desperately wanted to kill the Pudge and chased on in, but this Enchantress with phase boots does so much damage, closing in on level 6 as well. One more creep will do it, and this top lane, they have to fear for their lives.
Especially if they try and make a play here. There's a smoke rotation here from Jesse Vash and Jules, and they're popping the ultimate. Enchantress with the heal, starting to go. The hook defensively here. Bit of a slowdown onto Vela. Still want to go for this here. Meanwhile, mid Ricky ends up falling.
Oh, they have sentries.
Alright.
So Ricky must have just walked in onto the DK, low
Yeah.
HP.
Like,
Trying to set something up, but
there's many T-Tours here in this game, but I'm almost certain that even Pimmockle would miss half of the kills that I missed.
big
With,
T-Tours.
yeah. It's just so much happening everywhere. But yeah, that's the exorcism down. Not too much being done with it. So that
Gyro's having a
win for Happy Feet.
pretty good time down bottom, honestly. 4.2k net worth. Treads drums nearly fully complete. Looks reasonably good for the old Gyro down the bot lane. Not a Metal Man Gyro, no Mask of Madness, no no severe net worth deficit.
Yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
If any of the new items are really something worth going for on a gyrocopter. But for now, Drake gets stunned up again. Jules, okay. There's a lot of burst damage coming from that hook, but the ultimate coming through here. Dragon Knight trying here to the blink in from Pharaoh. Can he be punished? Jesse Vash throws down 3 points up into the dual breath. That's a lot of damage over time, but over time
Dude,
means
Pharaoh's
he's still
slaying.
alive and gets himself a double kill. Now the song from Xnova as Gyrocopter comes in, he eats it. The rocket to the face. Cannot TP out, so he might be run down in the end. Can find a slower cross, but looks like he'll be able to slither away. Maybe not. Rappy intercepting and Shan slowing him down. So this Naga. I'm trying Night Roche, but not quite.
Not quite, no.
The rocket.
One hit away.
The homing missile transferred onto Roche too. That's
Bonk.
interesting. Alright, so where does it leave us
Weird
now?
ser-
Who won this early game?
I mean, honestly, when you look at DP up at top lane, solo dying to Rappy, can the Ench do it? One more hit. Oh, the TP away complete.
At the same time, Jabami
God.
dies to Jules. I'll trade with the Riki there as well.
What's happening? Just people dying
I don't
everywhere. To answer your question, I honestly don't know. With WG's lineup, I feel like they scale better for longer, but I feel like Happy Feet scale, you know, harder and faster. Like they're going to be online with this kind of laning stage much quicker. The fact that DK is doing relatively well, their Gyrocopter's farmed, they look like they're in a good position to start taking team fights as soon as possible, like within the next 2 minutes.
The Gyrocopter
Is
just
Gyro
goes
just
ham.
gonna solo?
Not with the extra 2 heroes coming through. They're gonna get some extra help. And at the very least, one of these heroes will burn down to the fire, but Jesse Vash is also in a lot of trouble now. Vela just pops another exorcism. And look to run him down under the tower. And kind of losing vision here. Macropie being down, just eating through some of these trees. The hook. Is it actually keeping him safe? Not quite.
No.
But Vela, they'll trade for it.
They get the trade kill, yeah. And they got the... Yeah, that's not good from WG. It shouldn't have gone that far in.
Is under attack.
It's another exorcism.
Every single
but all the
skirmish.
T1 towers are still alive.
It's just like
so
it's just some like Pudge hook save, or someone
Yeah.
stays alive long enough to get the damage out. Like losing one hero so quickly by Gyrocopter just running into the middle of 4 of you, while the rest of your team is farming, right? Rappy's still pushing top lane. Over on the Courier, the Midas is coming out 12.5 minutes in, so you're going to be scaling hard on the Ench. DK has Soul Ring heading into this Armlet, which should be up in the next couple of minutes. And honestly, once we get to 15 minutes, it's going to be make or break time for WG, because Happy Feet will be knocking on the doors of the top tier 1, of the tier 2s, and of Roshan, because they're going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
And I don't know about, like, Wraith Bands on Drow. There's DP maybe falling again bottom lane as well. Oh, juking Velo.
Trying to track him down though, the rocket definitely helping out, almost max. It is max at this point. Builds with the extra control. Very effective build so far on Gyrocopter, just not even bothering with the flag cannon for the time being. And now, they're already setting up possibly. Puts up on Liquid Fire, it's only X and over here to try and defend this, but you can always set up for some sort of counterplay with the Song of the Siren. Plenty of time for everyone to TP in. Meanwhile in mid, Jesse Bash. Aframush keeping an eye on him. Rappy also coming into the middle of this. Oh, the hook shot though on the not the hook shot, but the hook on Pharaoh. Couldn't quite get the ultimate off in time though, for the blink out.
Oh, they want to make a play on the gyro, but looks like Yaj is already out.
Yep.
But yeah, this X-Nova Naga has a lot of weight on its shoulders. The song has to be used to to defend towers, to start team fights, to stop team fights, while WG have to kind of, you know, get ready around. The Riki can scout out initiations, but the Naga really is the one to set the terms of engagement for WG, as Gyro's still found here.
Yeah. Going a bit greedy for the other bounty runes, so he'll be intercepted now. Trying to TP out, but that's not going to happen. A lot of damage being done in return, but now can they actually do something with that? Rappy made his way through, but now being slowed down by Jabami, the ultimate from Velo. This time will lead into a kill as well as a tower. They're finally able to connect with that, with Happy Feet, just perhaps not expecting them to stick around for this long in this bottom part of the map.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, you have vision up at top lane, you had mid lane shoving all the way in towards tier 2, you have the information that your enemies are not top and are not mid, right? You've got to pretty much assume that they're coming down towards bottom lane. Gyrocopter, that greedy play, and then Enchantress falling straight after, filtering in one by one when you have, you know, pretty good information on the map. It's just not good.
Yeah. Oh,
that sets them back pretty far. This Ferroquap is getting out of control at this point.
Will come through. Oh, barely missing there from Jules. One mid still standing though with this commitment from Happy Feet. Now they're moving forward. The rocket is chasing down Velo. And
Jules has to hook this, right? No?
Well, they find Aframush, but does get the ultimate off inside the silence as well. Jules actually taking quite a bit of damage here. Gonna be right click down by Fair and Song of the Siren in the back. Gyrocopter is still doing a good amount of damage. Jules actually will tick out to the damage over time. And now, great opportunity for Gyrocopter, especially with Jabami coming in from the side. No way out of this one. He is trying to fight. They're doing some damage, but spread out of everything.
And there's the song. There's the song to set it all up.
Yep.
Happy Feet, they walk into a trap. DK wasn't there. He was bot lane. They didn't have their 5-man push. So all of this advantage that they've built was split across the map. You know, you've got 6.7k net worth that's not part of the fight pushing towards mid-tier 2, which is a huge mistake. And this X-Nova Naga took full advantage of it. They see the ability to turn around. Gyrocopter casts his spells, but Pop blinks in, and then Naga just sets the song, allows a Drow Ranger to come in, get a 2-man gust across Happy Feet, and it was lights out from there.
Yeah. Get the value shine off, and everyone's just ready to continue farming. Got 2 tier 1s in short succession, got this huge team fight. Now, still has to translate into a big gold advantage, because Gyrocopter as well as Dragon Knight, they've both been farming quite well so far. DK also very close to the Blink Dagger, so that might actually be a bit of a game changer if Happy Feet can get the more reliable initiation for once rather than just trying to find hooks. But at the same time, Aframush, such a huge liability to play against, because he's doing a really good job just keeping an eye on Happy Feet's heroes time and time again. So
even if it means giving away his life.
yeah, it is. They're gonna go again. to place the silence, forcing Yash in the side. The ultimate! Oh, there it is. Pharaoh takes it himself.
Oh, the Ricky is so low. Look, 40 HP.
Oh no, the Magpie.
Magpie misses. Oh dear.
He can probably just stick around there for a while. Oh man.
What a god.
Radiant's top tower
Oh,
is
it's
under
another tier 1 down. Kuroko, he's just using his blink dagger. Try and I mean, he stops the push, but now that's saying, hey, here's my blink dagger. Be aware.
worthy tribute.
But this Quap has such great aggressive items. Veil, Orchid. If WG can keep setting up for fights like that where X-Nova isn't scouted and can just song to keep, you know, Queen of Pain alive if she's dived in too far, they can always fall back and reset.
Yeah.
But it still is one of those things that if X-Nova is caught and taken out of the fight, things can go really badly for WG. So it is that, you know, tightrope again, finding the positioning of X-Nova.
Oh, Quick Roche dies very quickly here with the DP ult committed. Pharaoh with the Inmus rune just joining up with Afromush straight off the bat. They ping out the courier, it's a Dragonlance on it, but the dust comes through. This time they punish Afromush, the hook coming through to secure the kill.
Ah, Jules has the Spirit Vessel, the upgrade of Urn. Oh, that dust hits Pharaoh. And they're not going to see him. They won't see him.
Yeah.
So this new Spirit Vessel with the bonus on healing and the bonus percentage heal, so good on a hero like DK. Tanky strength hero and has a lot of HP regen through his Dragon Blood. Very, very nice.
Yep. 20% fuse the enemies, it's 70% reduction on that. Reduction of healing rate. Meanwhile, okay.
That could be good against the DP, I guess, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's more
That's-
likely to be used defensively.
Is that a region that you get also just like life drain kind of thing from the Spirit Siphon?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's the question, like depending on how it's coded.
Yeah, I'm
The
not sure.
dying regardless, you help them that time around.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But yeah, top lane being pressured by Happy Feet, but the bottom lane is taking some punishment. It's only Yash down here who's just be very, very careful with Pharaoh just continuing to do these aggressive movements.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They'll get the tier 2 on WG.
Radiant's
Starting to build their
bottom
lead up
tower
now.
is
It's up to
falling.
about 5k. Biggest lead we've seen yet this game. Experience, similar story, about close to 6k now.
I can press my graph buttons now, dude. My keyboard is like semi-functioning at this point.
That's some good news right there.
Well, Hurricane Pike Yasha on Drow. Oh, this is still not where you want to be. 20 minutes in. Top tier 1, tier 2 still standing. You'd love to really get up there and pressure those down. But with a nice little Aegis over on your Queen of Pain, you've still got this potential just to TP back while split pushing and join the fight like middle lane. They're trying to set up.
And just with the hook, and now Afromush actually comes in for the counter initiation. Jabami, hitting the Macapire, walks across the Kuro with this stun, not the Dragonet, trying to burst him down first with the Ice Pop coming through. Even the Song's Siren will not be able to prevent that. So now they're setting up with it onto two heroes with the silence. Follow up there from Jabami as well. Some good knockback. DK forced to sit in the middle of that. Pharaoh blinking across to the side, but now Yash coming through with the big old call down. Going to put on some extra damage onto Pharaoh, just forced to blink out. This fight from WG not working out the way they wanted to whatsoever. The Rockets continues to follow Pharaoh. He should be fine with the damage being nerfed a little bit on that. And Jules, oh, there it is! That's the Aegis down! Oh, man.
So Pharaoh didn't have ulti that entire fight. It came off cooldown like 3 or 4 seconds after the fight ended. WG still felt they needed to take it, still felt strong with, you know, that, what, 3 or 4 man Gust and pushed back by Drow Ranger, it looked intense, but
Yeah.
they didn't have the damage. They just lacked that damage to burst those 1 or 2 heroes down.
Oh, that is. They're gonna go on Jesse Vash and will blink forward from Queen of Pain. I'll secure that kill. Aftermush sitting on so low health, but running through a sentry. Yules will be able to pick that up, and now straight up TPing away. Nothing there to cancel it. No Yules or anything just yet. And Blink's done. Okay. There it is.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's real bad for WG.
It's one way to put it.
Losing your Queen of Pain there, that's what, almost 900 gold goes into the pocket of Rappy's Enchantress, who has full Hurricane Pike now. On top of the Hand of Midas, Enchantress is level 15, plus 50 damage talent has arrived, and is now a big damage dealing core.
Yep. It's the other thing that I just remembered, that a Wraith Band now builds into Hurricane Pike, so like triple Wraith Band on Drow Ranger, at least double Wraith Band. This is a super viable build now, without even having this wasted money in your inventory later down the line.
It's still one Wraith Band too many.
Yeah.
Like, Aquila, Hurricane Pike, sure, but...
This case, yeah.
The additional Wraith Band, really?
Well, regardless of that though, I mean, he's still the highest farmer on the map, together with the Queen of Pain, so... Nothing else, it did help Pharaoh, it buffed him up a little bit more. So there's still this thing that you have to worry about, like if you have these small little skirmishes, if you have these ranged heroes actually getting to right click, you're gonna get a lot of value out of that precision aura.
But they have no control, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
They have Song of the Siren into Gust. We've seen it twice now, and it's worked decently twice.
Not gonna work for too much longer because Kuroko, I mean, he almost has BKB completed.
Exactly, right? And then you're gonna have Enchantress BKB, you're gonna have a Manta Style on Gyrocopter, and then maybe even a BKB after that. These items aren't gonna stop coming from Happy Feet. It has to be perfect execution from WG onto, you know, tier 1, tier 2, fight around next to Roshan, and somehow pray to whichever god you believe in that this Naga Song of the Siren is like the crispest thing you've ever seen.
Now they'll settle for the tier 1 top.
Radiant's top tower is under
Doesn't look
attack.
like Happy Feet wants to
Radiant's
contest
top
that at
tower
all.
is
Instead, they're
falling.
pushing down mid as well as bottom. Makes
So
some sort of
WG, yeah,
trade here, but
they're committing for tier 2.
yeah.
I don't know where they go after that though, because you know there is no Roshan yet, so they'll have to come back and defend bot tier 2, or they swing mid, but the mid creep wave is reaching dire tier 2 by now. Are they going high ground here? Are they really going to pressure tier 3?
This is where Happy Feet, at the very least, they need to force them back, and that's exactly what they did here. No way you let this go in favor of the tier 2.
As long as Happy Feet don't chase them out of base, everything's fine for Happy Feet.
Yeah.
If WG manage to bait them out of their base to fight, then they've got a good chance to set up.
So essentially, they traded tier 1 for 2 towers in the top lane. Now, smoke fake back. This could turn into something here.
DK is
especially if
outside
they
of
can
his
try
base.
and burst down a DK, but BKB straight off the bat. There's still plenty of physical damage though. Or is there now with the hooks coming through? The Song of the Siren. Going down the call down. Velo still very much off and kicking with the ultimate going, so they can try and set this up. DK ends up falling on the edge of that Pharaoh in the mid. They're just right-clicking away now to the Gyrocopter, now onto Rappi. All this physical damage is going ham, but good snipe there from Jules. Actually fishes the Velo in the middle of that. But the damage has been done. 4 heroes down, 1 buyback already forced out. No Macropie for another couple of seconds, but is available now to try and mix around. But there's silence. Pharaoh just straight up blinks in. Jakira, it's a dieback right here. Another buyback now on Rappi. All of a sudden, Happy Feet find their base under a lot of pressure. But with Macropie out, getting the creep wave, looks like they'll be fine for the time being.
DK went outside of his base.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is what happened. Him getting caught there leads to that, you know, chain of events where they've got to go in and save him. He uses BKB, use Dragon Form. You have to fight now, so the team dogpiles in. They lose a couple of heroes, have to buy back Jakiro to defend top tier 3, and WG with the perfect setup because Happy Feet left their base and played. It was a cocky move, you know, just expecting and assuming that your opponents have retreated all the way back to their jungle or to make a play elsewhere on the map was incredibly cocky by the DK.
Yeah. Same time, great clip from WG as well, just recognizing that, hey, we can make something more happen here if we don't leave, if we just smoke, if we spend some time. And if DK doesn't make that play, all of a sudden it ends up being a waste of time for WG.Unity. As it turns out, though, it's very much in their favor.
Well, they didn't smoke until they saw him, right? So they didn't commit for a play until they realized he was exactly where they needed him to be. Then they smoked and they ran forward. Otherwise, they very well could have just retreated back and farmed jungle like the DK expected.
Yep. Alright. Now, they have to
Roshan's
once
up
again
now.
Stabilize guy back up. Aegis and cheese available for whoever team gets it. WG.Unity, all they really need is like one pickoff or just the knowledge that Happy Feet is somewhere else on the map to just snipe it out very quickly. But now, we have a 5-minute smoke under the ward though. WG, I think they scouted this out. They're setting up on the high ground. Rogo smoke breaking. There's the Vash as well, and they're gonna go in here. Ultimate silences, but the BKB will say no to that. Kurok ready to fight. Jules in the back, but nice play from Alpha Rouge, just spreading a bit of chaos on the front lines. Oh god, that rocket though, keeping Death Prophet alive. Keeping Death Prophet locked down. Yule Scepter up into the Ice Path though. That's Velo dying once again, so that's a good start. Gyrocopter, Mantis out of the net, and now they look to chase down more X Nova. With the Song of the Siren, Pharaoh tanks that rocket with the Lincoln Sphere. This time, this is one for the retreat. Kuroko still blinking in, gets a stun off. Pharaoh has to try and fight a little bit more, but hookshot back into the rocket, into everything else. Gabani even forced the halves back. He's trying. Oh god, he didn't actually get off to the high ground. Jules will find him down below. Jesse Vash with the interception. It's actually still actually buying so much time, but the rocket. Oh my god! 4 stars on cooldown, someone needed to push that a little bit further. But somehow the Drow Ranger able to outplay his way out of there. Crazy fight once
Missile
again.
still hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did the Naga use Song of the Siren? After the DP died, after the fight had pretty much ended, right, to try and save the lives of the Quap and the Drow, and they still stuck around. The Queen of Pain blinked in aggressively. That song wasn't really well planned or well thought out. It didn't feel like there was some indecision somewhere along the chain of communication, right, between those 3 players, the Naga, Drow, and the Quap, that allowed that situation to snowball into an even worse one. Because you lose the DP and you're like, cool, okay, we song, we fall back, we reset, and we try and fight around Roshan again on our terms. But in this case, they got caught in between those 2 ideas of sticking around and fighting and just bailing.
Yep.
And it turned out to be just far too messy. Happy Feet rolled them over.
So now, all of a sudden, that goal, or all of a sudden, once again, this gold graph back towards his 1k mark, still in favor of WGU, but it's kind of bouncing back and forth rather than building further in their favor. And it's gonna start to hurt because DK with that BKB,
I mean,
very effective. Now building to the next couple of items with the AC and Gyrocopter as well. Butterfly queued up.
Like, neither team really wants to split push, and neither team really wants to fight 5v5, but they have to go for one or the other.
Yeah.
So we're just going to see this kind of back and forth between the 2 until, you know, the buyback cycle's broken. One of them has, you know, Aegis and Cheese, or the Refresher Shard, or, you know, some inordinate advantage. But I'm not sure how much Happy Feet can do with this Aegis and Cheese, especially if WG are able to keep pushing out these lanes with the Naga Siren, set up a fight somewhere on the Radiant side of the map that pops, you know, both of those great high ground tools to give your heroes multiple lives. Then things could just go back and forth in that cycle again.
You know, with the Refresher Shard in this game in particular, like, both teams have very good heroes to use that for.
Like a DK dude.
Yeah, DK.
A DK would be so good.
Yeah, like, you use your ultimate to win a fight around Roche Pit, you get Roche, then you have the Refresher Shard to just have that for high ground as well. It's exact same idea for Death Prophet, right?
Yeah, or the Queen of Pain.
Yeah.
Could be very, very valuable. But you can see here, they're kind of scrambling around the map, WG just trying to keep side lanes pushed, so that Happy Feet can't push 2 lanes in on each other and collapse. Once they've taken, you know, tier 3 in a rack, so they fall to the other. So these two side lane tier 2 towers are very, very important for WG at this current moment in time, because it funnels Happy Feet into one area. They can only fight mid. So that gives you so much information. You know, they're either going to push and fight mid, they'll commit for that, or they'll spread and try and, you know, deal with the two side lanes, which is exactly what they're doing now.
Yep. You have a Nagasarn on the team, but even from the support position, it's sometimes very hard to justify to still go for this Radiance build-up. Instead, Xnova has that Aghanim Scepter queued up, so the extra heals inside this Naga song maybe help out for these kind of situations. Now full 5 and smoke, Rappy even got themselves big old ancient thundering away behind them.
Does Naga have buyback? No, she doesn't. If they kill the Naga here, this could be huge. Her death time is 54 seconds. The only bad thing here for Happy Feet is that, oh, they've got no lanes pushed in. They're trying to shove mid, but there's a freaking Naga illusion just sat there.
Gonna go now. They have plenty of control to prevent the song. And buyback ticked in now. Did have barely enough money for it now. Bottom lane at the same time, forced the reaction out. Yash already there to take care of it.
She must have just got it with Riptide, the last one she used on the creep waves. Very, very nice.
No, it doesn't have it spending some money on smokes.
But
it shouldn't
they
really
had
matter with the lanes where they are.
They had to chase us so far, but that by the time they got to the Naga Siren, the one hero that they really desperately want to kill, all the lanes are pushed in, and they can't do anything with it.
So we continue with the farming game. Where's Drow Ranger gonna go next? Lincoln Sphere? Useful against like these blink initiations. Really good against the rocket as well.
Yeah, DK stun, Pudge dismember, very, very annoying.
Yep. So some more defensive utility. Also some decent vision out on the other side of the map here, but in the Radiant Jungle in particular. Aframouche putting another one even further, even deeper in.
I still feel like I favor the Dire team as the game progresses. Like, they haven't bought BKBs yet. They can still scale into BKBs. They can still scale into, you know, hard physical damage from Drow. Yeah, she's buying a Daedalus next. She has it queued up. Queen of Pain can go like Mjolnir, Assault Cuirass, unless we have one already, do we?
Hero is just going ham. They use that glyph defensively and aggressively at the same time, just keeping creeps alive a little bit longer, but Jesse Vash and Rappy, they're coming through. Pharaoh's actually a lot of trouble. The spell steal! Turning things around, almost.
No way.
Killing Jesse Vash.
Level 20. Level 20 spell steal.
Oh hey, by the way, at level 25 co-op you get an extra Lincoln, essentially, right?
Yeah, you sure do. Now Enchantress might be dead.
That is. I'm gonna run him down. Meanwhile, Yash on the other side got a double kill.
Well, side lane fights. Good. But the thing is, WG, they've got two pushing cores ready to push in onto a tier 3. They are in a position to strike. DK has no TP, needs to blink back across.
Good being silenced up, trying to TP out if they can get the vision here. Oh, they can't. Ibami couldn't actually right click, so that's why he survives. Yash shouldn't be successful with this, with Lincoln Sphere already in the inventory.
But look at the lanes.
Yeah,
look at where Happy Feet are being held. Like, this is them with Aegis Cheese. This is them, you know, wanting to, or it was with Aegis Cheese, wanting to play aggressively.
Oh.
And they get nothing.
Hard to do. Like, who is your pushing hero? Jakiro, if he does it, if he goes out too far from the rest of the team, he just dies. And then it's just helicopter, I guess.
This Naga has done so much. Naga has like won the mid-game team fights. It's pushed all of the lanes with these bloody illusions. Yeah, exactly. Look top, but it's also mid and bot. Look at where these waves are, all because of Xnova's Naga Siren. I am like single-handedly, this Naga has won them the game. If they win.
Not quite there yet.
Like right now, I'm still struggling to see what wins Happy Feet the game, to be honest.
I know,
They
no
need some
game's
solo
unthrowable.
pickoffs. They need to like snowball out of their base somehow. But you look at the dire vision; they've got this, you know, nice triangular vision across the area that Happy Feet can even roam into.
Pharaoh still hanging around down bottom, walks into the scan, so already knows that something's amiss down here, and there's jungle Aftermush also sitting around to help out, and just continuing this idea, let's pressure all the lanes at the same time. Eventually we're gonna get one of these lanes into one of these high grounds, and then get a few extra right clicks off on the tower. Top and bottom already took that kind of a punishment. Then meanwhile all the next items are coming through a little bit quicker on the dire side, because they just have more farm. Farm their own jungle, they can farm all the side jungles. And the raiding jungle in particular as well. Now Pharaoh might be going a little bit too deep. Gets controlled up, follow from Kuroko.
Really?
And yeah.
Really, Pharaoh? Like, okay, you know what he's trying to do there, right? It's force the
Yeah.
BKB of the DK. That's what he's aiming. He's baiting, trying to force the BKB of DK. And DK's like, nah, dude, I've got 4 heroes sat behind me. They pop the Lincolns, they get Dismember, then into the Dragon Tail, enough damage to kill her off before she can cast spells, and then lifesteal off of those spells. So, it was, well executed by Happy Feet, but Pharaoh, dude, come on. That was so unnecessary. Now that, oh, did they get the Drow top? Watch for the man to dodge,
coming off
no?
cooldown. Yeah, she triggered the Lincolns a moment ago, but now BKB on Velo is actually still fighting with Rappy. Very happy just taking that fight at this point, especially
Oh,
with
that
Rusty
impetus?
through. Large youngish impetus. Actually misses up high ground. It's still gonna get the kill. And as I was just saying, no game is unthrowable, and right now WG, they're kind of bleeding important heroes on both sides of the map. Now, it is the middle lane push. Up to 2 has fallen, so at this point Happy Feet, they can win a fight here. Or if they have enough time, they can maybe take more than this mid racks, but
That Pharaoh death, it has meant so much in the past 30 seconds. They're gonna get the tier 3 here. Happy Feet have broken high ground.
Kuroko blinking forward here, look to try and bring down a Naga Siren before Xanova can use the song to really turn things around. Jabami also falls back now. Alright, was Riki there. A good silence there from the Drow Ranger, trying to bring down the Pudge, and will be able to write him down with the gem on the decks as well. Rappy, next one on the list, the heals, not quite enough, and now the Song of the Siren, also making sure that Gyrocopter and Jakiro are kept for later. The silence to follow up, no med style available now. Pharaoh still blinking away, they'll have to settle for Jakiro.
Dire's middle tower is
Look at the Enchantress next to
Oh,
Dire
yeah.
Fountain.
Let Rappy go, okay.
She's gonna get out.
Also recovered her.
Happy Feet get racks,
They
but
don't
it
even-
does look like WG get Roshan with the Refresher Shard. I do not understand this game. Like, Pharaoh dying there allows Happy Feet to break out of their own base, out of that rut where they're just stuck defending wave up against the Naga Illusions. And then they get to top lane, and they win that fight and they kill the DP because Drow Rangers had to TP away, the Lincolns gets popped, but Velo's still stuck there. This whole snowball effect from there into the tier 3 in Rack's middle lane, and a team fight win on top of that. But still WG, this Aegis cheese is the big one. This could be a sustained push. This could be 2 lanes of Racks with the lineup that they've got. They just
Very
have to
easily.
choose their battle well. And this Naga song back up in 10 seconds. It is vitally important that X-Nova gets a good song.
Yep. If he does that, if they set up for an ultimate, an exorcism from Velo, they should be able to win that fight. And then you're always gonna have that wait. Give that refresher shot to somebody else? Give it to Firo instead. Oh, never mind then. Is that in his backpack? But yeah, I mean, potentially double Sonic Waves, also kind of game-winning play right there. Potentially, depending on what are the buyback statuses. Faded actually pretty good. Yash has it. Kuroko also has it, as well as Rappy. And can they make that play? Can they execute? Can I find a song to end all songs? Pharaoh, he's the one leading the charge. He does have the axe. Axe, what am I talking about? The Aegis. Ready to go, so he can feel a little bit more comfortable. Now the silence, again, trying to force on BKB. Nice little ice path into Macropire though. The damage is being done now. The hook shot back. Pharaoh gets a blink off, and there it is. The song. Two heroes next to each other.
Stop standing in the fire.
And that ultimate coming out through from Velo. Do they have the control here? The force stepping around the Pudge. Meanwhile, Yashin back and Rappi still right-clicking away. Pharaoh actually dropping low and low. Gets a blink off before he takes out. But Jesse Vash, he really wants it. And yeah, the damage over time is enough to trigger the Aegis. And two more heroes down. WG. Actually in a lot of trouble here, especially with the Ice Pouch. Catherine, Queen of Pain on that secondary live. Trouble kill from Yash. He was uninterrupted in that fight. He could right-click to his heart's content.
That ice path, that counter initiation. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious me. But yeah, even with double Sonic Wave there, even with the Aegis, sure enough, Pharaoh didn't get time to use the cheese because he was stunned into oblivion. But the Radiant didn't even have to use buybacks. Oh no. Oh dear.
Well, Dai has to use buybacks now. WG. You popped immediately with that particular kill as well. And it is a devastating loss for them. I mean, it was all down to Velo not being able to survive. I mean, he just died pretty much immediately after he came down from the Yule Scepter.
Yeah, when third Roshan's meant to, you know, secure you 2 lanes of racks or something, you don't even get the tier 3. You get wiped off the face of the earth, and now you're going to lose another one. The Ricky dies immediately. This has turned into a bit of a calamity here for WG. They've run out of steam.
Can't really blame him for going there because the lane is somewhere else entirely. No real reason for them to be set up there like that, but at the same time it still hurts. Now I get the Ancient Black Dragon to even help. Happy feet. Really, really good position to just keep going now and just end the game soon with this push. Feels like they have all the momentum in the world on their side right now. It's coming down to them having kind of subpar combos with songs. Like X-Nova is finding like 2 heroes next to each other time and time again with that. But if all you really have is the silence to follow it up with, then just not enough. It's almost like you have to build a meteor hammer and queue that up for the stun. Like
yeah, maybe so. I mean, in the bot lane fight, they had the song and they had the gust, but there were BKBs from the Radiant team. Yeah. So really, the only thing that did anything was the double Sonic Wave, but it wasn't enough to kill a full HP Enchantress or DK or Pudge or anything through it.
We'll try here. Force off back. Cheese being eaten as well. After motion in front. Kuroko. BKB forced as well. Jesse Vash. Okay, that's a lot of damage. Song and Siren will make sure that they're all healed up going forward. They're trying to catch something here and they will find the Pudge. But the rest of Happy Feet still sticking around. Silence is coming through. No Mana Style actually. Jarikov forced to walk away, but enough damage being done. Pharaoh with the Sonic Wave. Not even necessary for that. Now they're just focusing on Dragon Knight with the DP ultimate going. They're just chewing through every single hero before Velo dies himself. Mass buybacks coming through as Jules just gets kills and denies. What is even happening here? They're all back in a fight though with the Boots of Travels. WG can win against one set of heroes, but not against 2 by the looks of it. X-Nova, he'll die to the last impetus. Triple kill for Rappi. And it's all over, yeah. Only one man's left standing.
It sure
That's
is.
not nearly enough. GG, it's gone. What happened there with Jules? He gets the kill on Velo.
So he dismembers the DP. They kill the DP, and even with like all the ghosts and the like right clicks and everything in the air, he somehow still denies himself in the middle of all of it. Like the luckiest thing I've seen in a long time.
Oh man.
Oh dear. Happy Feet. They